Oh, hello. Today, we're gonna try out, this little secret level over here, Ice Cavern. It's really not a secret at all, but I remember it seeming very mysterious when I was but a girl playing this game. I'm actually re-recording this episode because, I was originally talking about work when I first recorded it, and I was being really negative, and first of all, no one wants to sit here for like 10 to 15 minutes and listen to me or anyone else really just be negative unless it's funny. And I'm not funny, guys. I'm not all that funny. But also, I do really like my job, and I'm not gonna be there for much longer. So that's a new development. I got a new gig, a little bit more of like a big girl job. So I'm not gonna be working at the bar for much longer. And I decided, in my last like month or so of working there, why not be positive and enjoy the things about it that I like.
Word of caution, little one. Wait until you grow big. Like me. Before charging those large enemies.
I feel like I should be showing you guys some more of these dragons because some of it is really funny or cute, but also they give you hints sometimes about how to defeat certain enemies, and I feel kind of dumb because there have been a few times where one of the dragons that I unlocked gave a good hint about how to do something, and I didn't listen to what they had to say because I was too busy rambling on in this LP, and then it took me a long time to figure out what I was actually supposed to do. That actually happened in the last episode when I put in that little thing about how it took me forever to figure out how to cross the river in Clifftown. If I had just listened to the friggin' dragons, they would have told me how to do it. God. Anyway. But yeah, sometimes I feel like when you've been at a job for a little bit and you're kind of getting over your honeymoon phase of like really enjoying certain little perks and people there, and you start to realize things that annoy you, it's very easy to just be like super negative, and that sucks. Like, that's just a shitty way to go through life. And part of the reason why I've been like, fuck this job, even though not really, I really do like my job at the Tex-Mex bar that I work at. Delicious food, awesome people, fun music, good atmosphere, it's awesome. But it's in this part of Bahhstin that I was not familiar with really before I started working there. And it's friggin' weird, guys. Like, if any of you guys live in Bahhstin, you'll probably know the area I'm talking about. It is just the weirdest fucking people. I guess almost every neighborhood has their different type of weird people, but I really love that Bahhstin is, it feels like a collection of really weirdly different neighborhoods, and whenever I have friends visit me, they always say the same thing. It's like, it's crazy that you can drive 10 minutes and cross into like a few different neighborhoods and they all look completely different. The businesses are completely different. The people are completely different. So as long as you have a good way of getting around, and like the public transportation isn't the worst. So really, as long as you're not afraid to leave your house, you have this opportunity to go and experience all kinds of Bahhstin neighborhoods, and they're really fun. So the area that I work in, I don't know if it's actually considered Bahhstin. I think it's like the greater Bahhstin area, which is a stupid, meaningless term because there are towns and cities that are like an hour away that are considered the greater Bahhstin area. But anyway, some of these people are just this really special brand of weird. And I figure while I explore the ice caverns, which is one of those levels that I just always freaking get lost in. I can already feel it. Whenever I get to this part, I feel like I'm gonna get lost because it goes around in circles and there's loops and I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, while I do this, I'm gonna tell you guys some of my favorite interactions from weird people at work. So, not too long ago, I was heading out, leaving my shift for the day, and one of my friends, ooh, okay, I just got punched in the face. Fuck you, you're gone. One of my friends was outside having a cigarette break, so I just went up to her and, you know, I said bye and I'll see you later. And while we're talking, this guy comes up to us who's like, I don't know if he was drunk or if he was just like a weird guy. He has like a really thick Portuguese accent, and he comes up to us, he's like, excuse me, and like interrupts our conversation, which, you know, usually when people do that, I assume that they have like an important thing to ask you. I'm just like, oh, they're asking for directions, like they need something from me. No, this guy just wants to tell us how much he loves America. And we're like in the middle of a conversation, not like it was the most important conversation in the world, but for someone to come up to you to be like, excuse me, I need to fucking tell you right now, God bless America, hallelujah, praise Jesus. It's like fucking weird. So we're like, oh, okay, where are you from, dude? Like just trying to be polite. And the guy starts to say that he's from the Azores. I'm like, oh, cool, like I have family from Portugal. I have family in the Azores, and or family who's from the Azores. And in the middle of saying that, he's like, I don't care. He like holds up a hand to my face and says, I don't care. So I'm like, cool, fuck you. And I just fucking leave. And you would think that that's like a really standout interaction, but no, like weird shit like that happens all the time. Like the other day I was, see, I'm already getting lost. Oh my god, fuck this level. Even though I kind of like it, the music is really fun. I really like kind of like the wintry, cold theme. Anyway, so the other day, I'm opening, it's really early in the morning, it's like a little bit past 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm parking my car, and this guy on a bike pulls up next to me, and it looks like he's saying something to me because he like kind of looks through my car window, but I can't tell if he's talking to me. I don't know. It was really weird, but I just finished parallel parking because I'm not the best parallel parker in the world, so I do kind of have to concentrate when I'm doing it. So I finished parking and then I roll down my window. I'm like, hey man, what's up? Did you need to like tell me something? And he immediately looks like so frightened, like I just threatened his life or something, and says, no, I'm not a problem. I'm like, yeah, of course not, dude. Of course you're not a problem. Everything is fine. But did you need to tell me something? And then I think he realized at that moment that like I was just confused about who he was talking to. He was like, oh no, I was talking to the guy on the other side of your car. So I was like, oh okay, yeah, never mind. Have a good day. And as I'm rolling up my window, he's like, don't worry about me, I'm not a problem, and gets on his bike and like fucking drives away, but is like so serious the whole time. I'm like, you know what? I didn't think you were a problem before, but now I have this weird feeling that you might be a problem. Oh my god, so I just need to like laugh at interactions like that. They're so fucking funny. I have so many other stories, but I was thinking the other day about another one. I just want to relive like all my favorite memories from this restaurant before I leave, because then I'll appreciate the time that I had there instead of being bitter about like annoying customers or like whatever the fuck else I'm bitter about. I was partially bitter about like a new coworker, a new dishwasher who's like a huge piece of shit and like really creepy, but he got fired and went to jail, so that's another positive thing. But anyway, I was thinking about one customer interaction, which at the time made me so mad, but I can't help but laugh at the absurdity of it now that it's been probably about a month since it happened. So there's this couple at the restaurant. I'm not a server, I'm a bar back. I don't actually know if I ever talked about my job on my channel before, but it's like a bar restaurant and as a barback I have to like do all the dirty work, but I do like bring food to tables sometimes, so people like think that I'm a server, but most of the time people get it, like I'm not the one taking their order, and I usually bring them water and I'm like, oh, your server will be over in a second. So most people get it, like they get that I'm not the server, but like I can answer simple questions for them, or like, you know, if they have a question about something on the menu, I'm like, yeah, I got you, I can help you out with that. So I bring over this like order of chips and salsa to a table, which like, it's fucking chips and salsa. Obviously, it requires no preparation. I don't know who the fuck would ever think that, you know, we're making a fresh batch of salsa for every person who orders it. But people are still, for some reason, really confused when the salsa comes out really fast, and I'm just like, alright, whatever, dude. So I bring over the chips and salsa. This couple's like, they seem very friendly, but like, I heard later that they were very needy, but whatever. Needy is fine, and I want to make sure that you have a good time. But as soon as I drop it off, they're like, oh, could you send that server over to the table? And they point at someone behind me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, thinking they have some kind of question that they don't think I can answer. And I turn around and they're pointing at a random fucking customer. So then I have to go and get the real server. And they ask the server, where's our guacamole? Like, they couldn't have fucking asked me that. I don't know. And it's just, sometimes you gotta think about stuff like that makes you so mad in the moment, and I just can't help but giggle a little bit. Anyway, that was Ice Cavern, and some funny stories about my job. Yeah, I think we only have a little bit left of the Peacekeepers world, so get excited. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.